It's getting cold outside, so it's time for the villains to come out, and New York Times is hosting the Perfect Summit. The DealBook Summit is an event coming up November 30th with some exciting names in politics and culture, including Bankman Fried, the local fraudster this past month with crypto and FTX. So in this video, I'm going to talk about each person, why I think they're a villain, and more about the event. First off, here is my co-star, Sangrio, my cat, and I got new lights, so let me know in the comments if you appreciate. Please subscribe to my channel so that I'm more motivated to make money or make videos for you without making any money making the videos. But let's talk about the event. It's a business, culture, and politics connecting event. The DealBook Summit audience features the most consequential business and policymakers of our time. DealBook attendees are high-level executives and emerging leaders from the worlds of financial services, technology, consumer goods, private investment, venture capital, banking, media, public relations, policy, government, academia, and more. Our attendees are often CEOs or other senior level executive policymakers or entrepreneurs, happening in New York City, sponsored by Accenture, which is a consulting service in tech. I think Accenture is one of the top H-1B farm companies where they will hire people from overseas, sponsor the H-1B, and then basically enslave them with the company, because it's so hard to get your H-1B transferred to another company or to have another company that wants to process that transfer. So basically, Accenture enslaves these people for 8 years in the US, making it difficult for them to ever leave the company, and sometimes ultimately have to go back to their country of origin, because Accenture is the only company willing to pay for their H-1B. Another sponsor that is, the prime sponsor is Accenture, but another sponsor is US Bank, which is also an H-1B farm. You have T. Rowe Price, which is a financial company. I know nothing about them, but some of the lesser sponsors are Brex, which is a startup banking company. Brex pays a ton of money to recruiters for hiring people, and in general has a ton of money for no specific reason, seeing that they aren't overly successful. And then there's Walmart as a sponsor, which is a little fishy because, I mean, there is Walmart Tech, so Walmart is in the tech space for sure, but I don't know why they're sponsoring this business, culture, and politics events unless they're involved in creating culture or politics. But I'm going to go over the attendees one by one and give some information about them that I know. First off is the mayor of New York, which makes sense why he is at this event and hosting it. I couldn't find any juice on him. Mayor Eric Adams. I think the only reason he's there is because he's the mayor of the city it's hosted in. Next, we have Ben Affleck, the actor, and I found some interesting conspiracies around him. And I want to say I'm a know-nothing YouTuber with 300 subscribers, so there's no reason to think that I'm spreading any conspiracy theories. I'm just reading what I read online. In her book, October Sunrise, Barbara Honegger, don't get mad at me for mispronouncing these people's names, okay? She claims that officials close to Reagan concluded with Iran to prolong infamous hostage crisis until or after 1980 election in a deliberate attempt to weaken incumbent Jimmy Carter. So basically she's accused of collusion. Well, how is Ben Affleck involved? Apparently she claimed, and this Kevin Barrett guy claimed, that Ben Affleck was part of Pearl Harbor, a movie that came out right before 9/11 that was a propaganda piece aimed at rallying support for pre-9/11 war in the Middle East. Is there evidence? People can find some evidence, but now again, Ben Affleck is brought into the conspiracy space from his movie Argo. It's a blockbuster film and an Academy Award winner for Best Picture. That same Kevin Barrett guy said if the makers of Argo are deposed under oath, they may be found to reveal that their film, like the fictitious film within the film, is a covert operation disguised as a movie. Next, we have Sam Bankman-Fried, who is the crypto fraudster of the century. I made a video about him, 2 videos about that whole drama, so please go check it out. And if you like this video, please subscribe, like the video. We don't like him. He's annoying, gross. Let's skip it. Next, we have Jerry Cardinal. He's the owner of Redbird Capital and owns XFL, a minor football entertainment company. I couldn't find too much dirt on him other than he's about to buy the Liverpool team, and he's on the board of trustees for Mount Sinai Health System, which is fishy. So I don't know if he's a villain, but he's going to the event. Our next villain is Shu Chu, the CEO of TikTok. Now, this guy has experience with Goldman Sachs, banking division and is a leader of a financial management investment team. He once tweeted the Steve Jobs in China as a personal mentor of his. Now, TikTok is controversial because TikTok in China shows young children great stuff like learning, science experience, social ideas. So TikTok in China is great for the youth. It really helps them learn and grow and become better members of society. But TikTok in America is promoting complete debauchery, useless information, mostly causing contention in the US on a social and intellectual level. So that's the villainy there. The villainy is being involved with TikTok. So, and his background, clearly he's one of the most followed guys on the internet. Next, we have Larry Fink, the CEO of Big Bad BlackRock. Now, there's a ton of conspiracies around BlackRock. Most recently, it was supposed that they were buying the housing inventory with big investments and owning other companies that own a lot of single-family homes in the U.S. But the other conspiracies involve the cryptocurrency Terra, a payment platform with an algorithmic stablecoin. Terra tracks the prices of currencies and other assets, enabling users to instantly spend, save, trade, and exchange Terra stablecoins. Now that sounds a lot like the Alameda Research that Caroline Ellison is the CEO of, the person also involved in the FTX conspiracy. Their alleged sex tape is a popular subject in the news now. But BlackRock is a significant owner of Fortune 500 companies. It has 13.59% of its portfolio in Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google/Alphabet. So basically, they own, I would say, 10% of the tech industry. Those are some of the biggest names in the industry. And notably, a large number of alumni from BlackRock work in Biden's White House at the moment. Next, we have Reed Hastings, the CEO of Netflix. I couldn't find any juice on Netflix other than their own small drama, like they had drama with a data breach, or they made a series about a young girl who killed herself and left notes to her friends about the death. So those controversies are not really in the business aspect, but they do have a show called Black Mirror, which is super scary and I think predictor of a creepy universe that might become a reality. Next, we have Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, who makes $212 million a year. Amazon is its own story, but if you work in tech, you know that working at Amazon is the ultimate sellout. Well, to some people, but I know that Amazon either works you like crazy or doesn't work you very much. I know currently an Amazon employee right now who feels like they will never stop working 10 to 12 hours a day. But that's a whole other subject, so if you want me to talk about a video on Amazon, what it's like to work there, any juice I know, let me know in the comments below. Next, we have Van Jones. I had never heard of this person. They are an American news political commentator, author, and lawyer. Now, why I think that he is a villain is that he is a 3-time New York Times bestselling author, CNN host, and Emmy Award winner. I think it's weird that you're involved in Hollywood as well as like one of the top news websites and one of the top publications. Clearly, this person is not going to be a moderate person. They have strong political ideas and they're hiding it behind this company called Dream Organization. They are committed to ending mass incarceration, stop climate change, create new economic opportunities with $78.5 billion in federal funding for green investments like public transportation, vehicle charging stations, and clean school buses. So some people might disagree, and I'm not a political channel. I'm talking about tech news, so don't get mad at me if you think I'm spewing some politics. I'm just reading what's up here, but I do think it's kind of villainousy that this Emmy Award winner is responsible for electronic school buses in what sounds like the inner city. I mean, where else is there mass incarceration but inner city urban areas? So whatever, let's skip that. Next, we have Meredith Kopit Levien. She's the CEO of New York Times. Now, New York Times has a lot of controversies. I have picked out the 3 most recent ones. So first one being the 1619 Project. It was criticized on the fact with top experts on journalism for this project reevaluating slavery and its legacy in the U.S. So basically, they said some facts in their journalism piece, and top experts disagreed and said they didn't know what they're talking about, and they just carried on like it was no big deal. Next, we have the Tom Cotton editorial. During the George Floyd protests in June 2020, the Times published an opinion piece by U.S. Senator Tom Cotton entitled "Send in the Troops," which called for the mobilization of the U.S. military in response to rioting and for an overwhelming show of force to disperse, detain, and ultimately deter lawbreakers. Critics argued that the piece was encouraging violence and lacked context or vetting. And then the third main thing that New York Times is famous for is they called the Babylon Bee a far-right publication, and Babylon Bee ended up suing them and won for a defamation case. Next, we have Scarlett Lewis, who is the founder of Jessie Lewis Choose Love movement. Jessie Lewis movement was founded after a woman's daughter got killed in Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook is the second most violent act of guns shooting in America. So one of the kids who died, their mother created this movement. It has this character, social, emotional development program that's taught to 10,000 schools in all 50 states and 120 countries for serving 30 million people. It's the only organization that offers free lifespan character, social, emotional development programming with consistent messaging for parents and caregivers as well as communities and businesses. So I don't think this person is a villain. I think that they're on there to help balance out the evil villainness in the crowd that's there. Next, we have Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the ex-Israeli prime minister. Whoa, what is the ex-Israeli prime minister doing at this event that's supposed to be combining business and politics and culture? Oh wait, that makes sense. He's a policy maker, a former policy maker, and is really interested in culture in America for some reason. He was a prime minister from 1996 to 1999 and again in 2009 to 2021, so only recently left his seat. He is known as the crime minister with a lot of controversy of money laundering, illegal acts, and using bombing as a way to keep masses in line. He also has links to Hollywood, which is kind of creepy. Next, we have Mike Pence, the 48th Vice President of the United States, a Republican person, and there's only two political members that are coming. Both of them are Republican, which I find fishy. I don't know nothing about American politics. I'm skipping Mike Pence. Next, we have Priscilla Sims Brown, who is the CEO of Amalgamated Bank. I had never heard of Amalgamated Bank before. It is the largest union-owned bank and one of the only unionized banks in the United States. Amalgamated Bank is currently majority owned by Workers United, an SEIU affiliate. Amalgamated Bank provides affordable and accessible banking to its customers, advocates for workers' rights, and promotes high standards in environmental, social, and corporate governance policies. Amalgamated Bank clients include progressive individuals and organizations like presidential campaigns, labor unions, and nonprofits. Apparently, their online pitch for group advertisers is 100% directed to Democratic candidates. The bank petitions for gun safety, voting rights, climate change, and equality. Now, Mike Pence is a real politician, and it sounds like this Priscilla Sims Brown is involved in politics and clearly sits on one side of the political spectrum, but she looks more neutral, like she's involved in the banking. Next, we have Janet Yellen, Janet Yellen. I made art on her. If I find it, I'll put it on the screen. She's a current U.S. Department Treasury Secretary, famously wrong about inflation in 2021 and 2022, not stopping, and is one of the people who helped create the current recession/depression that we are in and moving towards. So that's why I call her a felon. She's a villain for sure. She tends to repeat her mistakes despite having a $7 million a year salary. She often takes the approach of, rather than using interest rates as a mean to remove a federal market punch, she often does nothing, allowing financial bubbles to grow and grow, which creates a huge risk when these bubbles will burst. And it seems like right now we are seeing some bubbles burst. I know the startup bubble in the hiring market is bursting. A lot of these startups are going to have a lot different hiring market as far as the salary numbers or the number of people they hire. Next, we have President Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, who allegedly his country is in a war right now, but apparently he has enough time to go to a DealBook summit with other movers and shakers in the world. Interesting enough, like Reagan, he's an actor and has a background in entertainment, but I don't know why he is going to this event. He's supposed to be dealing with a war in his country, you know, the war that a lot of our tax money is going to. but I don't talk politics on this channel. Next and finally, we have Mark Zuckerberg, founder and CEO of Meta, the ex-king of the metaverse, Mr. Are You Human or Robot, and the internet's least favorite CEO, most famous for selling customer data as a way to make money on the platform. But this is what I think is the convention of villains. You have Mark Zuckerberg, Janet Yellen felon. I would even call this Priscilla Sims Brown kind of a questionable person. We have the CEO of New York Times, who is kind of villainousy. I mean, sorry, but New York Times is always having to take back what it says, which makes it seem like it's not that credible of a site if they're having to constantly edit their publications. Maybe it's because they have such a large scale, but next villain we have is Shu Chu, the CEO of TikTok, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, Sam Bankman Fried, the crypto fraudster of the century, and Ben Affleck. Why is he the bad guy? I don't know. I hope they have fun at their event. There's going to be VIP networking sessions, breakfast and lunch, cocktail reception, and lots of other fun going on. So I will do an update video once this event is either going on or done to talk about any juice that happens. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Give it a like so other people can find it, and in the comments let me know your thoughts below. Do you agree on some of the villainous people I listed? I'd love to hear if you agree with me on this lady, Priscilla Sims Brown. I mean, Sims, come on, the game. Brown, I don't know. Even the name screams something's fishy there. But thanks for watching this video and checking out my channel. I hope to see you in the next one.